Hello and welcome to Design by Geeks. Today I'm going to be showing you how to assemble our Rissa Rocks It milk carton gift boxes. Most of our designs come in two versions, the tall milk carton or the little shorter half pint size. Whichever size you choose to do, they're both going to assemble in the same way. Now you can choose to have your box open at the bottom, or you can choose to have it open at the top like a real milk carton. And you can put whatever you like inside. These are great for gifts, or you can put candy inside. So let's get started. First, you're going to cut out your box shape. If your box has a decorative cutout, there will also be an insert piece that's going to go behind the hole. You're going to start by folding along the score lines of your box. If you like, you can use a folding tool to help you fold. When you get to folding the top, some of your score lines are going to fold inward and some are going to fold outward. The hardest part to fold is going to be the two triangles. Just do your best to get a little bit of a pre-fold. That will make assembly easier later once you're actually gluing down and assembling the top. If your box design has a cutout, like this one does, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to glue your insert to the back side of the cutout. So here we have our insert, and there's the back side of our cutout. So we're going to place some glue just on the portion that has the cutout. And just make sure when you're gluing down your cutout that you're not going on top of any of those score lines. The cutout piece will be a little bit smaller than that section to make that easier for you. So after you have your insert glued down, here you're going to see that it's behind that cutout shape. Next, we're going to apply glue to this left side here and then curve it around to form kind of a square tube shape. So we're just going to apply glue here on this left side. If you can see, there's a score line. And we're going to fold this into a square tube. Sorry, I got off camera there for a second. And you just hold that down until the glue holds. Next, we are going to close up the bottom. So we close that up by folding down the flaps and closing the lid. Now, if you like, you can use glue here if you don't want it to open from the bottom, if you only want it to open from the top, or you can leave it with no glue if you want it to be able to open from the bottom. It's totally up to you. Now, if you did use glue to close your bottom, now is the time that you would want to fill your box before you close up the top. If you did not use glue, you can put things in your box later. Next, we're going to fold the top. So what we're going to do is at the left and right, there are some triangular score lines. We're going to bring those triangles inward, kind of just push them in. And because you pre-folded it, it's going to form your milk carton shape like that. Now to close the top, you have two options. So your first option is you're going to close it with glue, which is going to be more like a real milk carton. So what you're going to do is you're going to place glue on the inside, glue on these sides, and glue here, all on this like little top section. Now that those all have glue, we'll just fold that together and just hold that in place until the glue holds. The other option to close the top, if you don't want to use glue, is to close it with ribbon. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a hole punch and you're going to punch 2 holes in this top flap as close to that score line as you can get. And you want to make sure when you're punching the holes that they are evenly spaced. I think that looks about right. And now that you have the 2 holes, you're going to string some ribbon through those holes. And I like if the bow to be on the same side as the cutout if it's a design that has a cutout. So just keep that in mind when you're putting the ribbon through the holes. Let's make that even, and then we can tie a little bow. And you can do whatever you need to do to make that ribbon look cute. Right. And that's how it looks with the ribbon closed. You could trim off the excess if you like. Whether you use a ribbon or whether you use glue, both ways of closing your box look cute, and your box is now ready for gifting. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.